Hello, ladies. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We are continuing our series of the types of men that we want to avoid. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about the cheater man, okay? The man who cannot be faithful. Many of us have experienced this type of man, and it is the most emotionally devastating type of man, short of being with the narcissistic man, the man who is insecure. This one just, tears your soul up, because cheating is a form of emotional abuse. A lot of people, I don't know if you know that, but chronic cheating is a form of emotional abuse. And one thing, I'm having a time getting out of my development, y'all. There's a lot of people out here. One thing I often tell men and women when they write to me or they ask me, should I leave? Should I leave this relationship? Is this relationship over? Should I leave this relationship? I get a lot of those, should I leave my relationship questions? And my answer is the same every single time. So whether it's a relationship or whether it's a marriage, my answer is the same. And that is there any form of abuse in this relationship? And has that abuse been long-standing? Is it a chronic abuse? And there's lots of different types of abuse. There is verbal abuse. There is emotional abuse. There is physical abuse. There is financial abuse. Okay? Spiritual abuse. There's all kinds of abuse, but if there is abuse, that's usually when I let people know, that's a strong sign that it's time to let this relationship go, because you're damaging yourself at this point. To stay in that relationship is causing harm to yourself. So infidelity, chronic infidelity, is a form of emotional abuse, and no one, man or woman, should sit around and tolerate it. And again, it's one of those things that is just devastating. It's devastating to your self-esteem. It's devastating to your confidence. You're like second guessing yourself. You're thinking there's something wrong with you. You're not enough. Oh my God, I've heard it all from people who have been cheated on. And it is just one of those things. It's the master betrayal. When we experience this form of betrayal, it's crazy making. It's crazy making. Everything we thought was true is not true. And it is crazy making. So this guy, there's so many reasons why this guy cheats, right? And let me go here. So there's so many reasons why this guy cheats. And more often than not, it has nothing to do with you. That's the one thing you need to know. You need to hear it, and you need to get it in your spirit. That it's not about you. His cheating is not about you. It's nothing you're doing. It's nothing you're saying. It's not about you. It's a character flaw in him. It's an inability to, whether it's, speak the needs that he has, or to let you know, hey, there are things happening in the relationship that don't work for me, or there's things not happening in the relationship that don't work for me. But it's up to him. It's his responsibility to make that known, to say something about that, and to have conversations about whatever's going on that doesn't feel good to him, whatever is happening that is making him feel less connected emotionally. But 9 times out of 10, you all, it isn't even about that. It's just chronic cheaters have so many problems, so many issues, so much trauma in their life. A lot of chronic cheaters define themselves by how many women they can sleep with. And a lot of men do that, period. Even if you're not cheating, a lot of men are guilty of that. How many women can I get? How many women can I sleep with? And I want you to remember this about men. So having sex with a man is a form of acceptance. That's how a man interprets it. If a woman gives him her body, he feels accepted. He feels validated. He feels good enough, right? So just that one act makes a man feel good about himself. Oh, well, if I had sex with her, if I had sex with her, if I had sex with her, like that's a form of validation for a man. And women, not so much. We don't work that way, but for men, for sure. And some men have sexual addictions. That could be a big part of his cheating. Some men could have just a lack of sexual discipline. Some men could have adopted bad habits in their single life, and they've now transferred those habits into their relationship or their married life. So many reasons. And men want to say, well, if I'm not getting enough sex at home, or if I'm not being treated well at home, again, it's your responsibility to speak up for yourself. Like, you've got to let your lady know, I don't like how I'm being treated. I don't like how I'm being spoken to. I don't like how, our sex life is non-existent. Like, it's still your responsibility as a grown-up to tell your woman that. You cheating is not, a good response. That's not a healthy response to not being treated well or not getting enough sex. You just have to have conversations. And I'm going to go here. A lot of men have pushed back on me when I said this, but the truth is, in my opinion, if a woman has stopped having sex with you, she's pulled away physically, there's no physical affection, there's no sexual affection. In my mind, she has neglected you. So you're in a slippery slope of neglect. And neglect is a form of abuse, so here we are, we're in an abusive situation. I am being physically neglected by my wife. So see, you're now in the land of this has become abusive. So you need to rethink whether you can stay in that relationship. But cheating is never, it's never condoned. It is never, I'm never going to put my stamp of approval on it. Even if a woman's not sleeping with you or treating you like crap or emasculating you, that is still no reason to cheat. You go about your business, you find someone better, and there you go. That's the solution to your problem. But once you start cheating, and then what's done in the dark comes to light, we can't even address the fact that you and your wife haven't had sex for 9 months, because guess what? The big elephant in the room is you're cheating. So this is why we don't do that. We take the spotlight off of what that other person is doing, and we put it on what we're doing. So ladies, men who are flirtatious, men who crave female validation. This to me is a red flag of a possible cheater. So he really needs women's validation. And it's not even just women out in these streets. It's like raised by women. He has a bunch of female friends. He's still in touch with his exes. These are all signs that there's something not quite jiving there. And so just be mindful. A man who claims to be extremely private. Oh, I'm very private. I don't like having my business all out in the street. Okay, there could be something there to hide. A man who is very possessive over his phone, his home, and here's another one. In my mind, the men who are super crazy strict about, oh, you got to call before you come over. I need to know you're coming over. I'm like, really? Right? So if I'm 5 minutes away, can I say, hey, I'm 5 minutes away? Like, if that's a problem, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So there's some subtleties. There's some subtle signs that something isn't adding up. But these guys, they tend to, they just need female validation. And men who watch porn, like you want to be wary of that. Men who watch porn want you to watch porn with them. Men who lead with sex. So they're leading with sex. So you go out on a date and somehow that first date conversation turns to sex. Y'all, can I just give y'all this? I think this is Feminine Skills 101, but maybe it's not. If a man brings up sex on the first date, that is a no-go. Like, that's a no-go. You know what he's there for. And he may joke about it. He may bring it up in the context of, I don't know, somebody else. But still, I want you to see it for what it is, which is, so this what you here for? This what you here for? No, that shouldn't even be a thought in his mind if he sincerely looking to get to know you for something real. But if that conversation turns to sex, even if it's a joke, because that's 9 times out of 10, that's the way they're going to bring it up, as a joke. But I want you to see it for what it is. Like, I'm really not comfortable talking about things of that nature. I mean, we're really just getting to know each other. You know, once we know each other better, I'll feel more comfortable talking about that, but not with a stranger. And I want you to use the word stranger. Like, we got to start using that word. We got to shock some men, shock it into their system that if I'm sitting down with you for a first date, that's a first, face-to-face encounter, you're a stranger. Like, we got to call it what it is. And there's a lot of women out there that won't do that. You won't call it what it is, which is you are a stranger. So I know I do. I say, well, I don't feel comfortable talking about this in front of a stranger. And how they feel about it is how they feel about it. But there are some subtle signs. This man, will be sneaky. He will lie. He will not be where he says he's going to be. And he might lie over the littlest of things. Because, again, this is all a part of his modus operandi when he's out doing his dirt, doing what he's doing. But the cheater will, oh my gosh, he will destroy your self-esteem. So you really got to be careful with this one. And then, too, the other thing I have to share with you is sometimes women get into a mindset. You need a mindset shift. So if you've been cheated on before by a couple of men, you are in the mindset of all men cheat. All men are dogs. All men mess around. And that mindset will magnetize you to men who cheat, to men who are dogs, to men who mess around. So, yeah, be very careful about your mindset. And what I say, about the few cheating experiences I've had is, yes, I have dated a man who cheats. I have dated a man who cheated, That's it. I don't label all men as cheaters. I say, yep, I have dated a man who has been unfaithful. I have dated a man, who has cheated. But I definitely don't tag all men as being cheaters. And so watch your mindset on that, because what a lot of women don't realize is their mindset will do them in. Their mindset will have them become a cheating man magnet. So just be very careful about that. But just be mindful of tiny little things, just being overly protective of the phone, not being a transparent person. So let's say you are out on a first, second, or third date. How I gauge a man's transparency is if his phone rings or his phone dings and he looks at it. I just want to see if he just lets me know, oh, it's so-and-so calling, or, oh, I didn't tell this person I was out on a date. I kind of look for that. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying he has to tell me, but I do look for a level of transparency with a man. So you got to ask questions. So is anyone out there in the world, are they going to be upset that you're sitting here on this date with me? Is there anyone out there in the world that thinks you all are still in a relationship? How do you feel about infidelity? How do you feel about cheating? How would you feel if you were cheated on? What would your response be to that? Like, ask these questions and kind of get a feel for how people feel about infidelity. I have very strong feelings about infidelity, and I am very untypical as a woman because I can't feel the same way about a man. A lot of men will say, oh, well, women can handle infidelity better than men can. And I'm like, not me, not me. I just throw the whole man away. I throw the whole man away and start with a new one, because to me, I can never look at the man the same. Like, I can never fully feel that trust and feel that same feeling I felt before the cheating happens. So it's devastating. It's one of those things that's devastating. And it's like, even the couples that come into my practice and they're experiencing infidelity, it's almost like there's a part of yourself that you have to abandon in order to stay with the unfaithful person. And I just can't do that. I just cannot do that. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just cut from a different cloth when it comes to that. I just can't abandon myself, because I would have to, swallow whole the fact that this happened. And even if the person was repentant, even if they were truly sorry, if it never happened again, like, it would take a lot. It would take a whole lot. Only God could truly, heal my heart from that, because I'm sensitive about that, y'all. I'm real sensitive. But be wary of this guy. He is going to be slick, right? He's going to be slicker than slick. And I want to say you can see this guy coming, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you are in the middle of it and it's like, dang, he's cheating on you, or you get that instinct that he's cheating, and then you're like, dang it, I can't believe this happened. So sometimes this guy can really sneak up on you. Anita, I agree. I never see him the same, and I'm definitely not having sex with him after that. And I know he's not going to stop having sex, for it's just best to end it. Simple as that. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm just being honest. I can't do it. I can't. And sometimes it blows my mind, the men who can forgive their women. I'm thinking, woo, that's new. That's that new modern man, because the men of my day, that was it. They done. They never doing that again. They're just not cut from that cloth. They're not doing that. They're not letting their woman cheat on them and come back. They're not built for it. And I'm not built for it, so I can't do it. But y'all be careful out in these streets, because this polyamorous thing, polygamy thing going around, like, people think it's cute. People think, well, if you're going to so-called share your man anyway, at least this way you know about it. No, that's never going to make it better, and I'm not going to share my man. So, and the open marriage, that's like a total oxymoron. And then my question is, why get married? Why get married if you want to have sex with other people? Like, I don't know, y'all. This world is weird. But I just wanted to come on real quick, throw this description out there, because like I said, we're wrapping up our series. I got one more for you, but we're wrapping up our series of men you need to avoid, and you need to see them coming. That man will never see a woman who cheats the same. I agree. That gives him space and opportunity to cheat with a justified excuse. Yeah, I agree. I can't do it. And I don't know how the men can do it, but anyway. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm running in here to a couple of appointments I have this afternoon. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please head over there, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when new podcast episodes load. This week's podcast, oh my gosh, Coach Paula Grooms, it's going to blow you away. You're going to have so many aha moments during this conversation. Oh my gosh. You got to head over there and check out this week's podcast. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Have a good rest of your day. And as always, stay open to love.